Respected Regional Director, Regional Center Delhi 3, Dr. Ashok Sharma ji, our esteemed coordinators and staff members of study centers, colleagues of IGNOU Regional Center Delhi 3 and other regional centers, IGNOU learners and alumni of the university. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you on this International Women's Day. Today, as we celebrate the incredible achievements, strength and resilience of women around the world, it is imperative that we also take a moment to address a crucial aspect of their well-being, and that is their mental health. In the journey towards empowerment, we must recognize that mental health is an integral part of overall well-being. As women, we often find that they are wearing multiple hats, navigating through various roles and responsibilities, and it is essential to acknowledge the unique challenges that women may face and the impact that these challenges can have on their mental health. And let us use this webinar not only to celebrate their achievements, but also to foster an environment of understanding, support, and compassion. By breaking the stigma surrounding mental health, we empower women to prioritize their emotional well-being, fostering a sense of resilience and strength that resonates in every aspect of their lives. On this International Women's Day, let us pledge to create spaces where women feel heard, valued, and supported. Let us encourage open conversations about mental health, cultivate empathy, and promote resources that empower women to prioritize their emotional well-being. And together, we can make strides towards a future where mental health is regarded with the same importance as physical health. As we celebrate the achievements of women today, let us also commit to fostering a culture that embraces and nurtures the mental well-being of every woman. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this important webinar. And let us continue to uplift, support, and celebrate women in all their diversity. I wish you all a happy International Women's Day. Now I would like to invite our respected Regional Director, Sir Dr. Ashok Sharma ji, for his introductory remarks, please. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, dear Dr. Faisal. Thank you so much. Respected Pratima Madam, my dear colleagues at IGNOU Regional Center Delhi 3, and colleagues from other regional centers of our country, and dear students, आज का दिन हम सभी लोगों के लिए बहुत खास दिन है, क्योंकि इस पर्टिकुलर डे पर हम हमारे समाज में, हमारे देश में या इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर भी जिन महिलाओं ने खास तौर पर अपनी जिंदगी में कुछ ना कुछ ऊंचाइयां हासिल कर रखी होती हैं, मुकाम हासिल किए होते हैं, जो हम सभी के लिए किसी ना किसी रूप में प्रेरणा का स्रोत होती हैं, आज हम उनको भी खास तौर पर याद करते हैं और साथ के साथ हम कोटि कोटि नमन करते हैं, प्रणाम करते हैं अपने खुद के घरों में भी जो हमारी माँ हैं, जिनके कारण आज हमारा अस्तित्व है, आज हम इस सृष्टि में मौजूद हैं, जिन्होंने हमें जन्म दिया, या हमारी बहन या हमारी बेटियां या हमारी स्पाउस, हमारी बेटर हाफ, तो हमारे अपने परिवारों में भी जो महिलाएं हैं, हम उनके योगदान को भी याद करते हैं, नमन करते हैं, एक्नॉलेज करते हैं, और परिवार के साथ साथ समाज में भी जो अन्य महिलाएं किसी न किसी रूप में अपना योगदान दे रही हैं, हम उनको भी साक्षात उनको नमन करते हुए, याद करते हुए, उनके सहयोग की सराहना करते हुए उनसे प्रेरणा हम लोग लेते हैं। मुझे आप सभी विद्यार्थियों को बताते हुए बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि हमारा जो विश्वविद्यालय है ये विश्व का सबसे बड़ा परिवार है। और इससे भी ज्यादा खुशी की बात जो है वो ये है कि लाखों की तादाद में जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स जो इग्नू में पढ़ रहे हैं नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर, उसमें लगभग लगभग बराबर 50% के आसपास या 49% के आसपास, लगभग लगभग 50% हम उसको कह सकते हैं, हमारी 50% स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो फीमेल हैं, लड़कियां हैं, गृहिणियां हैं, कामकाजी महिलाएं हैं। तो एक बराबर का जो पार्टिसिपेशन है हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के माध्यम से महिला वर्ग को पढ़ने का मौका मिल रहा है, आगे बढ़ने का मौका मिल रहा है। और इस योगदान में जो महिलाओं की शिक्षा की बात है, महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण की बात है, उसमें हमारे जो रीजनल सेंटर्स काम कर रहे हैं, जो स्टडी सेंटर्स काम कर रहे हैं, हमारे इस शैक्षणिक जगत में भी हमारे रीजनल सेंटर पर भी हमारे साथ महिला कुलीग कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर पूरी मेहनत के साथ अपना योगदान दे रही हैं। और उसी प्रकार हमारे स्टडी सेंटर्स पर भी महिला कोऑर्डिनेटर्स भी हैं, असिस्टेंट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स भी हैं, असिस्टेंट्स भी हैं, और इसके अलावा एकेडमिक काउंसलर्स भी। तो जैसे हम समाज के दूसरे भागों में हम देखते हैं कि आज महिलाएं पायलट भी हैं, महिलाएं डॉक्टर्स भी हैं, उसी प्रकार से हम बचपन से ही देखते चले आ रहे हैं कि शिक्षा जगत में भी महिलाओं का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। और हमारा तो देश बहुत महान है, हमारी तो संस्कृति और सभ्यता ही हमें बचपन से ये सिखाती है कि किसी भी मनुष्य का, किसी भी व्यक्ति का पहला गुरु तो माँ ही होती है। तो ये हमारे देश की संस्कृति है, ये हमारे देश की सभ्यता है, और ये हमारे देश ने ही पूरे विश्व को सिखाया है कि हमें महिलाओं का सम्मान करना चाहिए। और जहां जहां पर भी महिलाओं का सम्मान होता है वहां पर खुद देवता बसते हैं। तो ये हमारी सनातन संस्कृति है, हमारा पुरातन इतिहास है। और अब हमारी जिम्मेदारी है कि जैसे डॉक्टर फैसल ने कहा कि आज हमें भी शपथ लेनी चाहिए कि हम अपने महिला साथियों को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दें, महिला विद्यार्थियों को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दें, और महिलाओं के सहयोग से हम समाज को जितना ऊपर ले जा सकते हैं, मानवता को जितना ऊपर ले जा सकते हैं, इंसानियत को जितना ऊपर हम ले जा सकते हैं, उसमें हम सभी को अपना योगदान देना चाहिए। तो आज इस विषय में हम सभी सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि डॉक्टर प्रतिमा मैडम हमारे साथ हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे बीच मौजूद हैं। और मैं मैडम का अपनी तरफ से भी शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा, और हमारे रीजनल सेंटर दिल्ली 3 की तरफ से भी मैडम का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा कि मैडम ने अपने कीमती समय में से हमारे लिए, हमारे विद्यार्थियों के लिए समय निकाला। और हम आज जो एक विशेष टॉपिक है, जैसे डॉक्टर फैसल ने बताया कि इसमें हम लोग थोड़ा सा एक मेंटल हेल्थ के इशू को टच करेंगे, और उन्होंने बताया कि फिजिकल हेल्थ के साथ साथ मेंटल हेल्थ भी बहुत जरूरी है। और ये वास्तव में ही एक चिंता का विषय है कि इतना कंट्रीब्यूट करने के बाद, और अगर हम हमारे देवी देवताओं की मूर्तियों में भी देखें तो जैसे माँ दुर्गा को काफी सारे हाथों के साथ फोटो में दिखाया जाता है, मूर्तियों में दिखाया जाता है। तो वो एक सिंबॉलिक है कि हमारे घरों में, हमारे दफ्तरों में, हमारे समाज में महिलाएं एक ही समय में कई कई जिम्मेदारियों को बखूबी निभाती हैं, पूरी कुशलता के साथ, पूरी निपुणता के साथ वो अपना पूरा योगदान देती हैं, एक ही समय में कई सारी जिम्मेदारियों को निभाती हैं। घर में छोटे बच्चे भी होते हैं, सास ससुर भी होते हैं, पति भी होते हैं, उनका अपना, जो गृहिणियां हैं उनका अपना खुद का भी जीवन है, उनकी अपनी खुद की भी लाइफ है। तो इतने सारे फ्रंट्स पर उनको काम करना पड़ता है। इसके बावजूद क्या हम उनको एक पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट दे पा रहे हैं कि वो अपनी मेंटल हेल्थ का भी ध्यान रख सकें? तो जो तनाव हैं, परिवार के तनाव हैं या दफ्तर के तनाव हैं या समाज के जो तनाव हैं अलग अलग प्रकार के, तो उनका जो हमारी जो कामकाजी महिलाएं साथियां जो हैं उनके ऊपर किस प्रकार का प्रभाव पड़ता है। तो हर दफ्तर में फीमेल कुलीग्स होती हैं, तो क्या दफ्तर में हम लोग उस तरीके का एक एनवायरनमेंट बना पा रहे हैं कि वो एक अच्छे कंड्यूसिव पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट में अपना योगदान दे सकें? क्या हमने हमारे घरों में उस तरीके का एक माहौल बनाया है कि हमारी जो माँ है, हमारी जो बहन है, क्या वो एक अच्छे पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट में पल बढ़ रहे हैं? हमारे बच्चे किस तरीके के एनवायरनमेंट में पल बढ़ रहे हैं? तो किस प्रकार का माहौल हमने हमारे परिवार में हमारे महिलाओं को दिया है, उसके ऊपर बात करने की बहुत सख्त आवश्यकता है। समाज में महिलाओं का जो स्थान जो है, उसको क्या हम प्रॉपर तरीके से एक्नॉलेज करते हैं? क्या हम उनके योगदान को सराहते हैं? तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो महिलाओं के मानसिक स्वास्थ्य पर बुरा प्रभाव भी डालती हैं। तो हम सभी को ऐसे फैक्टर्स को डिस्कस करने की बहुत सख्त जरूरत है, उन पर चर्चा करने की बहुत सख्त जरूरत है, और जो भी सुधार के लिए हम कदम उठा सकते हैं अपने घरों में, अपने ऑफिस में, अपने समाज में, उनको कलेक्टिव तरीके से हमें उन कदमों को उठाने की बहुत सख्त जरूरत है। तो आज इसमें एक बहुत ही गंभीर मुद्दे पर चर्चा करने के लिए आज डॉक्टर प्रतिमा हमारे साथ हैं, और मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि इस चर्चा से हम इंटरनेशनल वीमेंस डे को आज बहुत रेलिवेंट तरीके से मना पाएंगे, और हम कुछ रास्ते ऐसे आज समझ पाएंगे, सीख पाएंगे, जिससे हम अपने आसपास काम करने वाली महिलाओं के योगदान को हम ऑब्जर्व कर पाएंगे, अप्रिशिएट कर पाएंगे, एक्नॉलेज कर पाएंगे। तो थैंक यू सो मच मैम, आपने अपना कीमती समय हमें दिया, और आज हम आपके इस उद्बोधन से बहुत लाभान्वित होंगे, और हम भी और हमारे विद्यार्थी भी आज आपसे बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे। तो आपका इस कार्यक्रम में मैडम स्वागत है। थैंक यू सो मच मैम, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच। आपने बहुत ही सरल तरीके से हमारे श्रोताओं को, देखने वालों को ये बता दिया कि फिजिकल हेल्थ के साथ मेंटल हेल्थ क्यों ज़रूरी है और किस तरह से ज़रूरी है। मैं अब अपने एस्टीम गेस्ट डॉक्टर प्रतिमा से ये गुजारिश करूँगा, और उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा मैं यहाँ पर बताना चाहूँगा। Dr. Pratima is currently working as a faculty at the Department of Applied Psychology, Netaji Subhash University of Technology, Delhi. She has over 10 years of teaching experience at prestigious institutions like the Department of Psychology, Jesus and Mary College, University of Delhi, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Jamia Millia Islamia, and Ambedkar University, Delhi. She is a former doctoral fellow at the Indian Council of Social Science Research from 2018 to 2020. She has received a doctoral degree from the Department of Psychology, University of Delhi, and she specializes in research methodology, statistics, human cognition, psychometric assessment, psychometric tool development, psychotherapy, biofeedback, and neurofeedback. She has authored a book on chronic mental illness, and she has half a dozen book chapters in edited books to her credit. She has over 30 research articles published in nationally and internationally reputed journals, indexed in Scopus and UGC Care approved list. Now I request Dr. Pratima to please enlighten us.
Thank you so much, Faisal sir. And I would like to begin my talk by thanking Director sir for giving such a relevant information, and also sensitizing everyone about the necessity of caring the physical as well as the mental health of women. Sir, can I share the presentation?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right, thank you. I hope the presentation is visible.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam, it is visible now.
Okay, so I wanted to begin with a very relevant question to all women who are present here, be as a part of the learner there or the coordinators from other regional centers. I just want to know that when it comes to when you get up in the morning and when you look up in the mirror, what is the first thought that comes to your mind? If anyone can unmute and tell, what is the first thought that comes to your mind? Anyone can unmute and tell. Yeah, please, Goldie, you can go ahead.
To get financially independent.
Oh, yes, that is very important. So, very thoughtful information that you have given is that the first thought that comes to your mind is thinking about being financially independent. And secondly, okay, Archita, you can also please tell, you have raised your hand.
Good evening, one and all. First of all, happy Women's Day to everyone. And my approach to this is that we all should say that we are worthy of everything and we are confident enough. I am confident enough giving a reassurance to ourselves regularly so that we can improve our own performance.
Great, great. So, why do we leave the men behind? Let us ask men also. What do you think about your mother, about your sister or spouse who are there? When the first thought in the day that comes, what is that? Anyone can raise their hand and can tell. Yeah, Abhishek, please go ahead.
Ma'am, first thought come that are they happy or not? Is there anything they are worried about? That's it.
Okay, great. So great to know that, of course, we are positive in our thought process. Secondly, men also are concerned equally about the health, physical as well as the mental health of women. So, on this occasion of International Women Day, I would like to start my talk on women's mental health, a way forward. So, we all know that women are equally part of the society and their contribution is invaluable in equal sense. So, but at the same time, when we talk about women's mental health, we also have to acknowledge that the uh, their mental health is multifactorial. The reasons and the determining factors are multifactorial. It's not one factor that would determine the women's mental health. And what are those? It could be uh, we have to consider that biologically women are uh, and the men are different. We have to acknowledge that physically we are different. Not only when we are talking about biologically, it means that the physical health as well as the brain. So brain is wired differently in men as well as in women. So studies have also cited that. And of course, I have also said that social factors also determine the mental health of women. So here we will be, if we see the clinical picture of mental disorders in women. So overall, we can see that the etiological factors that are mentioned in the book, or the kind of treatment modality that has been mentioned for mental illness or mental health, is disproportionately suggested. And we can see that women have been in on a greater vulnerability because of the lot of challenges that they go through, including challenges such as poverty, abuse, stress, and intimate partner violence. There are multiple. And let us talk about that. We have to make this sense very clear in our mind that we are made differently. We have different physical attributes as well as psychological makeup. So there are certain factors that I have delineated here that would determine that how women uh, should be looked from the different lens, and the mental health related concerns, the treatment modalities should also be made conducive according to their attributes that they carry. So there are multiple factors that we talk about here. Is one of them is biological. Of course, we have to see that the men's brain as well as the woman brain is wired differently. Their way of viewing, perceiving the things, information, and to react to the situation is different. Of course, they have different level of stressors, and their reaction to stress is also different. And we know that it has been since long, and also there are so many debates over this fact that the gender roles in the society that we generally practice are also governed and also they differ from culture to culture, and and the gender role that is described for women is different from men, so they are again not weighed equally. And also on the social level, we can see that women are also not only taking care of household chores, but they are also taking care of the they are also employed outside, they are also working, as sir also said, that they are working hand in hand with other people, like other members of the society. They are contributing equally in all realms, in all arenas. But at the same time, we have to understand, this was said by director sir also, that we are still, even though we are contributing so much, we are still not relieved from the domestic duties, taking care of children and maintaining house and work balance. So this has somewhat brought in significant changes in our perception, in our roles, and in our different performances at different levels. So here, this is the recent study in 2020 that has been that I am sharing here. Is this graph shows that women stressors are of multiple kinds, be it the job related, be it if there is a loss of job at husband's end, or if it is related to education of children, if it is related to debts, it's related to foods management, children's behavior, be it like managing children, and many other factors are there that has contributed significantly into as a stressor for women. Now let us first understand that what is mental health and what is mental disorder. We need to understand there is a distinction between the two. So when we talk about mental health, so mental health can be acknowledged when we say that cognitively, emotionally, there is no disorder. And we also know that what is disorder? Disorder is something which is not in order, right? So we have to understand that how does a mental health converts into mental disorder. And there are multiple factors that I will be talking about today that would lead the mental health to a mental disorder. So we know that positive psychology also says that mental health is important. Mental health talks about the emotional well-being. It talks about the overall wellness. So when we talk about wellness, it means that the absence of illness. So how much the individual is able to achieve with their own psychological resilience, with their own perseverance, through their balance that they create in their everyday life, is what is mental health. And women have been doing, will have been achieving their mental health at different realms. They have been balancing their home, they have been balancing their work environment, they have been managing their kids well, they have been raising them well, they have been working, they have been excellent at work front, they have been contributing in nation development. So there is evidence, strong evidence, that mental health has always been the priority of women, not only for the women but also other members in the society. As few of our participants have also raised, have also, women and men both have raised concern that they talk about, they think about their mental health. What mental disorder is? So mental disorder, or we can say mental illness, is basically when some psychological or behavioral patterns which are involuntary in nature, that causes distress and also affects the functionality of an individual. So when in a normal routine, when an individual is not able to perform well as they used to, is what is considered as mental illness or mental disorder. And it differs from culture to culture. It is identified differently in different culture, in different parts of the society. And of course, yes, we cannot deny that gender plays a very critical role in determining the mental health and mental illness. We need to understand that there are multiple socioeconomic stratas that is present in our country, specifically India. We need to understand that they are going through different levels of stress, different levels of stressful conditions. Now, let us talk about this WHO report, what WHO has to say about women's mental health. And WHO has suggested that, of course, observed gender differences are there that are different in men as well as in women. And they say that differently men and women internalize or externalize the different patterns. Now, internalizing and externalizing means taking inside, making it personalized, and externalizing is showing an overt behavior, manifesting it outside. And it has been, WHO has reported that women have been more internalized, have more internalized patterns than men. Men generally show externalized patterns of behavior. So what does this suggest? It suggests that most of the things women keep absorbing it inside. And when they keep absorbing it inside without speaking about it, without raising a discussion about it, definitely it is going to create a kind of volcano. So the facts that are suggested by WHO is about the women mental health. They say that depression is around 42%, that is causing disability in their neurological level as well, is higher among women as compared to men, which is around with 30%. They've also said that elderly depression and organic brain disorders or syndromes like dementia are majorly seen among women. They also suggested that 80% of 50 million affected violent conflicts, which are happening across the world, in the way of social war, criminal war, disasters, displacements, in such cases also women are at the high. They have also suggested that 16 to 50% of lifetime women rate of violence against women is also very high. And also it has suggested that at least 5 women suffer rape or attempted rape in their lifetime. So this rate is not less. This is an alarming situation for all of us. We cannot just keep eyes shut thinking that my house is safe, my neighborhood is safe, and other things would also be safe. No, it is not. If you just open the social media platform, you will come to know that there are ample amount of news coming across the world related to the sufferings, related to the victimization among women. This again has suggested a comparison between the male and female mental health. And you can see that here again, anxiety, panic disorders, phobias, PTSDs, OCDs, all these major severe mental illnesses are majorly seen are the women's are who are have more rate as compared to men. So when we talk about common mental disorders, so common mental disorders are basically the kind of disorders which are commonly found across all societies, irrespective of the culture and the thought pattern that they practice and the ideologies that they practice. And in India, studies, they suggest that depression, anxiety are strongly related to female genders besides poverty. Also, the reasons that they have suggested for common mental disorders among women, they have suggested that it is basically multiple plethora of changes that they go through in their entire lifetime. Hormonal changes related to reproductive cycle, they generally cause depression, anxiety, phobia. There are other causal factors that have been determined as common mental disorders among women would be, these are some of them are pointed here, but the most prevalent ones are the changes, the physical changes and the roles that they generally carry in their day-to-day living. There is they generally feel dependent and they have less of autonomy. They do not have the decision making power in the family, being irrespective of being powerful at their work end, but still they depend on the they cannot take independently all the decisions. So at the same time, this is what we have talked about, the women's condition in the urban setups, but we should not forget that the women's condition in the rural setup is even bad. We have to understand that there are so many barriers that have created that does not let the access of health and mental health services to them. Being stuck in the home, it generally does not allows them to access those services. And of course, there are cultural disparities, and cultural effects also play a major role in this disparity. Now, this image is again a recent one in 2005 by US Office of Surgeon General. They have suggested that there are multiple systems. So far, whatever discussion we have made, that is suggesting that there are multiple systems that would contribute to mental health of women. So they say that there are system-based factors, framework, like access to the health system issues, where they may not have proper access to the health system or health related services. They may have or they may not get access to it. There are also treatment access and insurance related issues and disparities in those as well. There are also conditions when they are misidentified because of some cultural factors, where their actual reasons or the causes is ignored. Apart from that, there are individual factors that have been defined, where they say that the biological and developmental factors also play an important role as a framework in that affects the mental health of women. They also say that there are specific mental disorders, like I have already quoted, the stressors, the anxiety, phobia, depression, major depression. These are some of the specific dementia. These are specific mental illnesses or neurological conditions that generally women suffer. And there are also environmental factors that also play an important role in mental health, where there are trauma, abuse, and violence that they go through. Apart from that, the stigma is the major thing that inhibits them from taking the accessibility of the services that they get through. We can also say that at the system level, the mental health is often ignored. So services that often is provided at the mental health at the health services or health centers often talk about physical health. They talk about uh, uh, anemia. They talk about women antenatal and postnatal care, but still they ignore the mental health care irrespective of whatever age they are in. So what needs to be done? What is the major concern that we have to look into? So we need to understand that it has to be a collaborative effort that has to be made at the social front, political front, and economic front. We all have to contribute in every front. This concern needs to be raised and the issues needs to be resolved from all these ends. And also we have to incorporate within our policies that the changes that mental health as well as physical health women go through across their lifetime. We also need to make education, training, and other interventions that are specifically prepared, designed for women at different sectors, different age, different conditions. So these needs to be provided to them at every social and physical level that addresses women's mental health. Also, education is one of the important tool that women can always take up that will help in providing awareness to her rights and resources and capabilities. We cannot ignore the fact that most of the time the women are exploited for their work, for their payment, and different sectors. Their work is underpaid, so they suffer with exploitation and injustice. If they are educated, if they know about their rights and resources that are available to them, since in India we have a largest democracy, we need to understand that this is somewhat brings in education, brings in a sensitization and awareness among women. And we need to understand that if we achieve education, 100% education for all women, for all citizens, so if we only talk about women education, 100% education women, we can ensure that the rest of this population will also get educated, since it is there mentioned in the scriptures that if we educate a woman of a family, she can educate others that are who are present in the family. So if a mother is educated, others are also educators. So we need to take education as one of the important weapon that would bring the economic, financial independence among women. Also, a collaborative effort at all front, if it is done at legal level also, that will definitely bring changes in the life of Indian women. So what should be the action plan? We need to promote a widespread understanding, sensitization to all, especially women. They should know that it is essential to look into their mental health. Of course, they are worried about their work, they're worried about their family, they're worried about their children and other things, but at the same time, she has to look into her mental health. And if her mental health is good, is positive, definitely she's going to handle other things also in a very effective manner. So we need to understand that at the health service centers, we need to also integrate mental health care availability at all front. So mental health screening should be there whenever the person goes, women go for the antenatal or postnatal checkups. Her mental health screening should also be integrated. I would like to take questions in the end. I'm about to finish and I will be taking questions in the end. Is that permitted?
Yes, madam. Yes.
All right, sir. Also, we have to see that at work front, at home front, we need to understand that the sharing of responsibility should be equal. The division of labor should be equal. We need to negotiate at work front as well as at home front. So all men, all children, all women, girls, they have to work in this area. We also have to incorporate, and as we all are studying, we all are educated, we should bring in the research related to women health, their mental health as a primary concern in our research as well as in medical field. We also need to work towards their economic independence by bringing in the sense of self-reliance. So the current policy that has been shared by our Prime Minister, where he says that it is Atmanirbhar, if we make ourselves Atmanirbhar, not looking for others to help us, to support us, becoming independent on our own. Not only in this concern is not only raised in the urban setups but in rural setups as well. There are women, they are joining these small groups, and then they are becoming economically independent by starting with small home level businesses or startups, and also depositing their money in the bank. So this is also one small step that would make them economically independent. We also need to create better vocational opportunities for women. Forget about the women who are working, but the women who are at home, they should always realize their worth. They should realize their worth by making certain kind of vocational opportunities for them that will help them to make them self-worth, right? At the same time, we also, women needs to look into the resilient factors and the protective factors that acts as a psychological aid, or we could say that psychological first aid for the recovery of the issues or the victimization that they have gone through. Moreover, they are required to unshackle the barriers that are holding them back. They need to leave those shackles, all the hesitation, shyness, everything needs to be taken off, and they have to come out to learn, to get empowered. And also, if they have a better sense of purpose in life, definitely it is going to help them to search for their better self in the society, search for the best contribution that they can make for the society. Moreover, all the enlightened and the empowered women and the men should come out and should enlighten and empower the ones who are not. We should not celebrate our own success, but we need to make them, the ones who are not empowered, who are not enlightened, we need to bring them in our happiness sphere so that we can share our happiness, we can share our success with them. We need to understand that these women did not wait for a hero, but they become hero themselves. So we have to make this very clear in our mind that we are a Shakti Punj in our own selves. We are the ones who are the equal contributor of this universe. So we do not have to look out for people who would support us, who would encourage us, or who would take us out and to give us the taste of the success. No, we are not required. We don't require that. We are all self-sufficient since we are handling so many things at our own front, at different fronts. So we need to understand, we need to realize the power that we have within ourselves. With this, I would like to wish every woman in this world a very happy International Women's Day. And with this, I would like to close my session and would be interested in taking up the questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. आपने मेंटल हेल्थ फॉर वीमेन बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इस टॉपिक पर अपना जो प्रेजेंटेशन था और इस पर अपनी बात रखी. मुझे उम्मीद है कि हमारे सभी जो लर्नर्स थे, जो भी हमारे साथ जुड़े आज, सब ने इसका फ़ायदा उठाया होगा और सब ने बहुत कुछ इस टॉक से सीखा भी होगा. अब अगर आपके मन में कोई क्वेरी है इस टॉपिक के बारे में, तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन उसका जवाब देने के लिए तैयार हैं. कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं.
Somebody raise the hand. I think Zaid had raised his hand. If you are there, please you can unmute and you can ask your question. Anyone else who would like to ask any question or anything that I could respond to?
Someone is asking about practicals or what? When this session is about a webinar. This is a webinar. This is not about any other practical issues session or any other session. So you can ask questions about only this topic.
Smriti ji has raised her hand. Please, you can unmute and you can ask. Smriti ji and then Divya.
Hello, ma'am. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead, Divya.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. First of all, thank you very much, ma'am, for this amazing session. I'm wishing you all happy International Women's Day. Ma'am, I had a question that in our day-to-day life, how can we contribute or help the ladies around to make them feel that they are accepted, or can help them coming out of the stress they are feeling in their day-to-day life? If you can guide on that.
See, stress is something that everybody is going through. Even you would be going through a stress. So, what I would suggest here is to form a small group, because when we are working in a group setup, we know that people will come up with their different issues, as well as they will come up with different coping mechanisms. So we what we can do is, at our own in our own neighbors, we can make a small group nowadays. So we have WhatsApp with us, so we can form a small group, we can add them, and then one hour or 2 hours we can spend in talking about each other's concern, talking about what kind of coping mechanisms do you take up, everyone takes up, and someone like you who is more knowledgeable, who would know different positive coping mechanisms, those people can contribute in a positive way to them. They can give them newer vision of coping different stressors that they go through. Since I hope that you are studying psychology and you know different coping mechanisms which are healthy in nature, we can also tell them different ways of building their character strengths. So these are some of the aspects that we can look into, forming small groups. And this will also not only be a small group, it will also be it may also encourage them from coming out something which may they may not be able to talk about in their family. So those small group setups, if you form, that would be beneficial for them, that would help them to deal or cater with the issues that generally women are going through, and how best coping that they can take up. Moreover, you can also work on empowering them with small skills, while making them learn small skills that would help in developing the entrepreneurship skills in them, that will make them financially independent. So these are some of the things that you can take up in around your society, within your neighborhood, that would help in contributing best for the women staying there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank
That
you.
helps.
Yeah, thank you. Smriti ji, you also raised your hand. If anyone else has any question. Yeah, Maria, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I'm Maria. First of all, Happy Women's Day, and I really liked your lecture. I'm a victim where apart from being, what is that? This rape and depression. Apart from that, I was a victim of bullying from my childhood, where I was actually bullied by a few guys. I was beaten up, and still today, I don't know some way or the other, I'm not able to overcome that fear. I'm a part of IGNU. I'm an IGNU student. I've taken up social work. If I come along this way, it's only through my willpower. But then somewhere or the other, still that fear, I'm unable to get rid of that. So if you can give me few hints or something to get over mentally, even though I look very bold, I talk very bold, but then that fear still jet lags inside me. To how to get over it.
Maria, I really would like to appreciate the courage that you have shown to talk about your issues here at this platform. And the thing that you have said that alarmed me, and also you said that you have the willpower that makes you learn, that makes you become the part of as a learner in social work. Moreover, you say that you look bold, but there is a fear that is still there. Of course, if somebody has gone through some kind of abuse, that would be there, that is genuine, that you have said. And the one protective factors, that the factor that you have, is the willpower that you have, the education. As you have opted to educate yourself, to enlighten yourself, to know more. So education will definitely bring you different path that you can take up. Moreover, there
Yes,
are
ma'am.
different help groups that are there, different, you can take professional help in this case to how to overcome the psychological fear that you have. And also you should understand that you have already defeated those fears by coming up across in an interaction. So you have already defeated it, so don't worry about it. Those will go as you become empowered, as you become more and more willful in defeating those barriers or fears. You have already defeated them. You will learn more ways. Take professional help. Take share your concerns with other females. They will definitely going to help. There are different there are women cell, you can take their help as well. So there are multiple forums where you can, if you are continuously victimized for that, then of course you have there are different forums where you can report and you can seek help. And of course I would say learning education is your greatest achievement as well as your greatest weapon that you carry. So keep learning, be open
Yes,
for
ma'am. Thank you.
experiences
Thank you,
and
ma'am.
other
Thank you.
learnings.
Actually, your class, what is that? When I saw mental health, I actually wanted to join. Now I'm under metro station near Akshara, but still I listened to your lecture while traveling because I thought this would be very helpful for me in the future and now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Please take care.
Thank you.
Yes, please, one more hand is raised. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, Ranjit, please unmute. Yeah,
यस
yeah.
सर, गुड इवनिंग मैम, हैप्पी वुमेन्स डे। मैम मेरा सवाल ये था महिलाओं को लेकर कि भाई शहर वाले क्षेत्र में, शहरीकरण की साइड में, रूरल वाले एरियाज में जो है महिलाओं को पक्षपात के तरीके से काफी देखा जा रहा है कि मतलब कि ये हमारी पुरुषों की जगह सैलरियों को मतलब वो कर रही हैं, क्या कहते हैं उसको, सैलरी मतलब थोड़े कम पैसे में काम कर रही हैं। और मतलब इससे कहीं ना कहीं महिलाओं में काम न करने की जो अवसर है वो मुझे काफी देखने को मिल रही है, क्योंकि हमारी जो शॉप है ना उसमें इस तरीके का मैं देख रहा हूँ। सवाल शायद आप समझ गए हो।
जी जी रंजीत,
रूरल
आपने
वाले एरिया
बहुत ही
में
इम्पोर्टेंट
बोला था
सवाल
मैम
रेज
आपने।
किया है, जहां पर पेमेंट पैरिटी की बात है।
हाँ, यस 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 यस।
हाँ जी, तो जो आप बता रहे हैं वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात बता रहे हैं। शहरों में तो फिर भी बहुत आसान है, आसान तो नहीं कहूंगी, बट हाँ लोग फिर भी इस मुद्दे को उठा पाते हैं, बट ग्रामीण इलाकों में इस तरह के मुद्दों को ज्यादा उठाया नहीं जा पाता है, क्योंकि वहां पर उनकी जरूरत है जो कि उनको काम की ओर लेके जाती है। और उनको अपने लाइक देयर आर सो मेनी इश्यूज लाइक पॉवर्टी, गरीबी, और घर में और कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति ना हो जो काम करता हो, या घर में पैसों के सपोर्ट देने के लिए उनको बाहर जाना पड़ता है ग्रामीण इलाकों में। तो क्योंकि वहां पर एक तो नॉलेज की कमी है, उनको एजुकेशन अवेयरनेस नहीं है कि उनका एक मिनिमम लेबर कितना है, उनको इतना नहीं उसके बारे में जानकारी है। तो अगर आपको अगर उसके बारे में जानकारी है और अपने आसपास आप देखते हैं ये चीज, तो ये चेंज का मुद्दा आप भी उठा सकते हैं, और आपके जैसे बहुत सारे नवयुवक इस तरह के मुद्दों को उठा सकते हैं और अपने ही क्षेत्र में इसके लिए आवाज उठा सकते हैं वो, ताकि उन लोगों को, अगर आपको लगता है कि ये पक्षपात है तो ये पक्षपात हटना चाहिए। हमें ये नहीं देखना चाहिए कि हमें एक सस्ता सेवक मिल रहा है, एक सर्विस पर्सन जो सस्ते में हमें मिल रहा है, हमें वो नहीं देखना चाहिए, बल्कि हमें देखना चाहिए कि एक व्यक्ति जो कि इक्वली कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, उसको उतना रोजगार, उतना मौका नहीं मिल रहा है जितना और तबकों को मिलता है। तो वो हमें इसके ऊपर तो हमें, इस मुद्दे पर तो हमें आवाज उठानी ही चाहिए। और मेरे हिसाब से तो हम सब पढ़े लिखे लोगों को इसके जो डिस्पैरिटी है इसके खिलाफ हम लोगों को आवाज उठानी चाहिए, इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ हु, चाहे वो गांव का लड़का हो या लड़की हो या औरत हो, मर्द हो, हर किसी को समान लेबर का अधिकार है। तो क्योंकि हम ऐसे जगह पर हैं, ऐसे जगह पे काम करते हैं, हम जिस देश में रहते हैं वहां पर पक्षपात का कोई सवाल ही नहीं है। तो अगर पक्षपात है और हम देख रहे हैं और हम आंख बंद करके बैठे हैं, वो अपने आप में ही एक पक्षपात हम खुद प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं। तो बेस्ट है कि आप एक ग्रुप बनाएं, एक इसके ऊपर अवेयरनेस पैदा करें, लोगों तक बताएं, और जो कर रहा है उसको भी एहसास दिलाएं कि आप गलत कर रहे हैं, और जो सह रहा है उसको भी बताएं कि आप गलत सह रहे हैं। तो इसके ऊपर अगर आप आवाज उठाएंगे तो इस पर जरूर अवेयरनेस पहुंचेगी। आजकल तो सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है, सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू आप अपने आवाज को देश के अक्रॉस भी पहुंचा सकते हैं। तो अगर आप ऐसा काम करेंगे तो मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आपको पूरी सराहना मिलेगी, आपके साथ और लोग भी जुड़ेंगे। तो अगर
थैंक यू
आपने
मैम।
मुद्दा उठाया है तो मेरे ख्याल से आपको ही इसकी शुरुआत करनी चाहिए अपने क्षेत्र में।
थैंक यू मैम। मैंने बताया भी था उन सब जो हमारे काम करती थी, एक आंटी जी थी, उनको भी बताया कि, तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि हमें कोई और काम प्रोवाइड नहीं करता, तो इस मारे हमारी ऐसी मजबूरी वहाँ होती है घर में कि भाई हमें काम करना हो। तो जैसे आपने बताया कि मतलब काफी जगह ऐसी
मजबूरी है तो मजबूरी
हाँ,
का गलत फायदा नहीं उठाना चाहिए ना।
यस,
तो
ये तो गलत है मैम,
ये
बिल्कुल।
तो हमें भी पता है
पर
कि व्यक्ति, हर इंसान को बराबर का हिस्सा मिलना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो बराबर ही कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। तो कोई बात नहीं, आपने एक तरीका लिया, हमारे पास और भी बहुत सारे तरीके हैं।
यस
सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू आप अपने इस काम को और सीख सकते हैं, और इसके बारे में आप और अवेयरनेस भी फैला सकते हैं अपने क्षेत्र में।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
जी, थैंक यू। Is there any other question?
कमेंट बॉक्स में मैम ये एक कमेंट है, मेनी थिंग्स हैपन इन चाइल्डहुड टू, फ्रॉम किम सू यंग।
Okay, many things happen in childhood too, which we don't know as a child, but those relative who have done something bad that time. Yeah, Kim, I understand that there are abuse-related issues definitely among children, girl child, which they may not know at that time, but later when they realize, when they become young, then they realize that something bad had happened in their life, in their if their young age, when they were small. So what I would say is, you should not feel ashamed of that. It was not your mistake. It is something who has done should be felt ashamed. And if you, whatever stage you have come to know about the that kind of abuse that had happened, you should raise voice then. You should not. And this is why we say that we need to educate our girl children, not only girl child but also male child, also boy child also, that abuse happens to them also. So sex education is one thing that should be incorporated in the school education by the NGOs in the rural areas. It should be spread, it should be given to all people in urban as well as in rural areas, remote areas. This kind of education needs to be given, that they know if something wrong happens to them. तो उसके लिए आपको जब आपको realization हो तब आपको बोलना चाहिए. Moreover, you need to share. We need to tell children, we need to tell girl child as well as everyone, we need to tell that we need to share. And if whosoever it is shared, we need to raise this voice, because this is something that ruins the entire life, and just in a guilt that something bad had happened with me. And what I would say, feel more empowered, better, because you have not done anything wrong. Wrong had been done by somebody else, and that had to be brought in front. Is there anything? I think if Kim is there, I have answered her question.
I think let us conclude now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a wonderful session. And to conclude this session, I would like to request our regional director, Dr. Ashok Sharma ji, to please come forward and conclude.
Thank you, Dr. Faisal. Dear students, आपका जो पार्टिसिपेशन रहा है, जिस तरीके से आपने मैडम से क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं और आपने अपनी फीलिंग्स और आपने अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर किए हैं, मुझे लगता है यही आज के हमारे इस कार्यक्रम की सबसे बड़ी सक्सेस है, क्योंकि मैडम की नॉलेज को लेना हमारे लिए वो एक हमारा वन वे ट्रैफिक हो सकता था कि मैडम ने हमें बहुत सारी अच्छी चीजें बताई और हमने उनको सुना और सीखा, लेकिन मैडम से वापस क्वेश्चन पूछना ये मैडम के इस लेक्चर की एक बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट मैं कहूँगा, क्योंकि एक सबसे अच्छा टीचर वही होता है जो अपने स्टूडेंट्स के दिमाग में प्रश्न पैदा करता है, उनको सोचने के लिए जो मजबूर करता है, वो सबसे अच्छा टीचर होता है। और मैडम के आज इस लेक्चर के बाद कई स्टूडेंट्स ने, आप में से कई पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने अपनी फीलिंग्स शेयर की हैं, अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर किए हैं, अपने व्यूज शेयर किए हैं। तो मेरी नज़र में मैडम का जो आज का लेक्चर रहा है ये पूरी तरह से सफल रहा है, और मैडम ने बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स को टच किया है। और यस, अब ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम इन सारे एस्पेक्ट्स पर अब सोचें, और कभी ना कभी तो देखिए ये हम सभी को शुरुआत करनी ही करनी पड़ेगी। मेरे को मैडम की एक बात बहुत अच्छी लगी कि जो फीमेल्स हैं उनको किसी भी टाइप के किसी भी वैलिडेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि सामने वाला आदमी कोई कहेगा कि आप बहुत अच्छा कर रही हो तो ही आप मानेंगे कि यस आप बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो। आपको किसी बाहर के किसी दूसरे व्यक्ति की वैलिडेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है। You are doing wonders, it simply means you are doing good, you are doing wonders. Please don't wait for others to appreciate. Please don't wait for gents to come out and appreciate your work. If you are doing good, आप उसको जानते हैं तो आप उसको उसी रूप में एक्सेप्ट करिए कि यस आपने कुछ अच्छा काम किया है। और हमें हमेशा दूसरों की तरफ उनसे एनकरेज मिलेगी, उनसे प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा तो आगे बढ़ेंगे, उनसे अप्रिशिएशन मिलेगा तो आगे बढ़ पाएंगे। नहीं, हमें इस तरीके की कोई डिपेंडेंसी अपने माइंड में भी नहीं बनने देनी है। इस तरीके के मेंटल बैरियर्स हमें अपने माइंड में नहीं बनाने हैं। आप सेल्फ सफिशिएंट हैं, आपके पास सब कुछ है, भगवान का दिया हुआ सारा सब कुछ है। हाँ, वो एक अलग चीज है कि फिजिकली शायद फिजिकल स्ट्रेंथ में थोड़ा सा 19-20 हो सकते हैं, बट जहां तक मेंटल कैपेबिलिटीज की बात है उसमें प्रकृति ने किसी भी प्रकार का कोई भी भेदभाव नहीं रखा है। जो जेंट्स कर सकते हैं वही फीमेल्स भी कर सकती हैं। और मैडम ने अपनी पावर पॉइंट स्लाइड में 4 आइकन्स की फोटो भी शेयर की, जो एक एग्जाम्पल के तौर पर मैडम ने आप लोगों को दिखाया है। तो यस, रियली हमारे अपने सामने ऐसे ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जिनमें महिलाओं ने इतनी शानदार परफॉर्मेंस देकर दिखाई है जो कि शायद बहुत सारे जेंट्स उतना हिम्मत भी नहीं कर पाएंगे, उतना शायद सोच भी नहीं पाएंगे बहुत सारे जेंट्स। तो महिलाएं किसी भी प्रकार से, किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी चीज में पुरुषों से पीछे नहीं है, कम नहीं है। ये एक टाइप का मेंटल बैरियर शायद कहीं ना कहीं पर महिलाओं के दिमाग में बना हुआ होता है कि जब तक पिता मोटिवेट नहीं करेगा या जब तक भाई साथ में मार्केट नहीं लेकर जाएगा तो शायद मैं अकेले मार्केट नहीं जा सकती। मुझे लगता है कि इस तरीके की जो एक सामाजिक कुरीति है, शायद इसके लिए पिता भी जिम्मेदार हैं, भाई भी जिम्मेदार हैं कि वो अपनी बेटियों को इस तरीके से डिपेंडेंट क्यों बनाते हैं, उनको वो ब्रेव क्यों नहीं बनाते, उनकी सोच में वो बहादुरी पैदा क्यों नहीं करते। तो काफी हद तक मुझे लगता है कि हमारे परिवारों का जो माहौल है, जो अगर रात को 9 बजे अगर बेटी कहती है कि भाई मैं पड़ोस की दुकान से आइसक्रीम ले आऊं, तो माँ बाप मना कर देते हैं कि नहीं तू रहने दे, तेरा भाई जाकर ले आएगा। तो व्हाई इज सच टाइप ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। और मुझे लगता है कि जो सबसे ज्यादा मानसिकता को बदलने की जैसे हम लोग बात करते हैं, तो शायद सबसे पहले मानसिकता पेरेंट्स को अपनी बदलनी पड़ेगी, भाइयों को बदलनी पड़ेगी कि वो अपनी बहनों को कमजोर ना समझें, अपनी बेटियों को कमजोर ना समझें। अगर एक लड़का 9 बजे जाकर रात को साथ वाली दुकान से आइसक्रीम खरीद कर ला सकता है तो लड़की क्यों नहीं ला सकती है? उसके अंदर बहादुरी है, उस बहादुरी को बाहर आने का मौका तो दीजिए। जब तक आप उस बहादुरी को अप्रिशिएट नहीं करेंगे, जब तक आप उस अपनी बेटी में, अपनी बहन में जब तक आप एक कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं दिखाएंगे, वो कैसे उभर कर सामने आएगी? वो समाज का सामना कैसे करेगी? वो देश में आगे बढ़ने का, वो विदेश में जाकर बसने का, आगे बढ़ने का वो हिम्मत कैसे जुटा पाएगी जब तक पेरेंट्स और भाई लोग जो घरों में जो हमारे भाई होते हैं, जब तक वो उस बहन को एक मौका नहीं देंगे। तो सबसे पहली चीज मुझे जो लगती है कि अगर कहीं से बदलाव लाना है तो वो पेरेंट्स के दिमाग से बदलाव लाना है और भाइयों के दिमाग से बदलाव लाना है। बहनों को पंगु मत बनाइए, उनको मेंटली डिपेंडेंट मत होने दीजिए, और उनको उनके अंदर जो एक जज्बा है, जो एक कॉन्फिडेंस है, उसको बाहर तो आने दीजिए। एक बार एक मौका तो देकर देखिए, वो किसी भी रूप में पीछे नहीं है। तो जो हमारा जो बिहेवियर होता है पेरेंट्स का, भाइयों का, वो लड़कियों के कॉन्फिडेंस को खा जाता है, वो उन लड़कियों के कॉन्फिडेंस को मार देता है, और उस चीज के कारण वो फिर सारी जिंदगी वो दूसरों पे डिपेंडेंट रह जाती हैं। जब अपने मायके के घर में होती हैं तो भाई पे डिपेंडेंट और पिता पे डिपेंडेंट, जब वो ससुराल जाती हैं तो पति पर डिपेंडेंट, बाद में बच्चे होते हैं तो फिर बाद में अपने बेटों पर डिपेंडेंट। तो महिला की सारी जिंदगी तो इस एक गलत अपब्रिंगिंग के कारण उनकी जो मेंटल रूट्स हैं वो एक ऐसे खराब माहौल में वो सारी की सारी जिंदगी वो पुरुष समाज पर डिपेंडेंट ही रह जाती है। जबकि अगर उसको एक सही मौका दिया जाता तो वो भी बहुत कुछ कर दिखा सकती थी, वो भी आगे बढ़कर अपनी फैमिली को सपोर्ट कर सकती थी, वो भी पुरुषों के कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर अपने परिवार को चलाने में, देश को चलाने में, समाज को चलाने में बहुत कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकती थी। आज हमारे पास ऐसी एमएनसीज हैं, ऐसी नेशनल इंटरनेशनल लेवल की कंपनियां हैं जिनको महिलाएं हेड कर रही हैं। तो हम बहुत ही सहज से अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि अगर उन महिलाओं में इतना बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस है कि वो आज मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज को अगर वो अच्छे से चला सकती हैं, तो डेफिनेटली उनके पेरेंट्स ने, उनके भाइयों ने घर में वो एक अच्छा माहौल बनाया होगा कि उन स्त्रियों में एक वो कॉन्फिडेंस पैदा हुआ कि वो नेशनल इंटरनेशनल लेवल की कंपनियों को हेड कर सकती हैं। तो अगर यही चीज अगर हर परिवार में हर पिता, हर भाई अगर अपनी बहनों को, अगर अपनी बेटियों को यही है कि कॉन्फिडेंस भी अगर दे दे, तो उसे और किसी कन्यादान की जरूरत नहीं है, उसको और कोई चीज देने की जरूरत नहीं है। बस आप अपनी बहनों को, अपनी बेटियों को बस एक ये कॉन्फिडेंस नाम की चीज दे दीजिए। बस वो अपने पैरों पर खुद खड़ा हो सकती है, वो कमाल करके दिखा सकती है। बस जरूरत जो कहीं पर एक कमी छूट रही है वो बस एक शायद इस कॉन्फिडेंस की है। तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, जो भी हमारे स्टूडेंट्स, मेरे कुलीग्स मुझे सुन रहे हैं, तो प्लीज एक ये चीज अपने बच्चों को दे दीजिए। बाकी शिक्षा वो अपने आप ले लेंगे, नौकरी वो अपने आप ले लेंगे, अपने पैरों पे वो अपने आप खड़े हो लेंगे। बस एक कॉन्फिडेंस उनको दे दीजिए कि यस, दे कैन डू एनीथिंग ऑन दिस अर्थ। This is my request, this is my appeal, and this is my concluding remarks. And I thank Pratima Madam and other colleagues and dear students from my own side also to actively participate in this webinar. Thank you, Madam. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam, and thank you all the participants. We thank you all, and on behalf of the Regional Center Delhi 3, I'm really thankful to my Regional Director, Dr. Ashok Sharma ji, our resource person, Dr. Pratima, and all the students and all the colleagues. Thank you so much.
डॉक्टर फैसल, एक ग्रुप स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए, कैमरा ऑन करवा के सबके।
जी प्लीज आप लोग कैमरा ऑन कीजिएगा और एक ग्रुप फोटो हम लोग लेंगे।
अभी भी कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का कैमरा ऑफ है। वृत्ति, नाडिया, स्मृति, नवीन, मधु, मंजीत,
कैमरा तो ऑन है
एक मिनट के लिए कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए प्लीज सभी।
सर, ऑन है।
कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का ऑफ है शायद अभी भी। यस। ले लिया डॉक्टर साहब आपका माइक?
जी जी, थैंक यू। ओके,
Yes.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, and please stay in touch with us. एंड मैडम की हेल्प लेकर भी हम फ्यूचर में भी आप सभी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए इस तरीके के प्रोग्राम्स फ्यूचर में भी करते रहेंगे। तो सभी स्टडी सेंटर कुलीग्स का एंड सभी स्टूडेंट्स का, सभी आरसी कुलीग्स का, सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एंड स्पेशल थैंक्स टू प्रतिमा मैडम, उन्होंने बहुत शॉर्ट नोटिस पर हमारी रिक्वेस्ट को एक्सेप्ट किया और आज के इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाई। आप सभी को मेरी तरफ से भी बहुत बहुत हार्दिक धन्यवाद। शुक्रिया।